Okay, well, the next item actually is our Sister City ceremony. So I'll be asking for a staff report.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, members of the City Council and members of our viewing audience. I am actually going to hand the microphone to the Deputy City Manager, Karina Banyaes, who's been orchestrating this on behalf of Rancho Palos Verdes. So here we go.
All right, welcome, Karina.
Good evening and good morning, honorable mayors and city councils of both Sakura City, Japan and Rancho Palos Verdes. We are excited to memorialize a sister city relationship with Sakura City by conducting this virtual ceremony event. Throughout the ceremony, there will be an English and Japanese translation. We appreciate your patience as we endeavor through this new journey together.
And we all have to realize that they're in Wednesday already, so they're there early morning, Wednesday morning. So right now we're waiting for a translation, correct?
That is correct, and I'm not sure.
I think we're waiting for them to get set up. They don't even know
Yes.
when to get started.
Well, we'll let the city manager do a translation for us.
Arigato. We may want, if we can reach out to our soon-to-be sister city and let them know that we have begun the presentation.
Yes, I just notified them.
Okay.
About
So this might be a first-of-a-kind virtual sister city ceremony. So this is great. So
Yes.
just seeing the screen and them going up to the screen is a big accomplishment.
ご案内申し上げます。iPad なんですけれども、国際時間との時差がございますので、iPad の画像については遅れが始まります。また、各 iPad ごとにタイムラグがありますので、お隣の iPad と画像が違う場合がありますので、ご注意くださいませ。オンタイムで映すのが、モニターに映っているもの、これは、海外のものとオンタイムで映るものでありますので、もし、そのタイムラグが気になるという場合には、正面もしくは後ろの座席、こちら側の左側ですね、にありますモニターをご覧いただければ、現地とのオンタイムでつながっておりますので、そちらをご覧くださいませ。
At this time, we will begin an opening ceremony of speeches, beginning with Rancho Palos Verdes City Mayor John Cruikshank, followed by Sakura City City Mayor Takashi Hanatsuka. Mayor Cruikshank, you may begin your speech.
Hello to everyone joining us today from the great cities of Rancho Palos Verdes, United States of America, and Sakura City, Japan. Joining me today are my fellow City Council members, Mayor Pro Tem Eric Alegria, Councilman Dave Bradley, Councilwoman Barbara Ferraro, and one of our city's founders, Councilman Ken Dida. Also, I'm joined by our city manager, Ara Maranian, Deputy City Manager, Karina Banyaes, and our city attorney, Bill Winder. Our city staff has 70 dedicated employees who oversee all aspects of our city's business and have kept our city safe, clean, and enjoyable since 1973. On behalf of our City Council, staff, and residents of Rancho Palos Verdes, I would like to welcome our friends from Sakura City, Japan, represented by City Mayor Takashi Hanatsuka. Rancho Palos Verdes has a population of 43,000 people, founded in 1973 and is 35 square kilometers in size. Sakura City has 44,000 people, founded in 2005, and is 126 square kilometers. It is Wednesday morning for them. They are 16 hours ahead, but today is the day we join Sakura City as an international sister. This is our first such relationship for our cities. Rancho Palos Verdes has engineers, inventors, artists, doctors, students, lawyers, scientists, parents, government workers, business owners, and every other essential title. We are citizens who seek and share knowledge. We yearn to celebrate our similarities and differences. We are not afraid to make mistakes as they help us grow. And today, more than ever, we seek to find friendship and common goodness. Today, we welcome our first sister city, Sakura City. And even though we are separated by an ocean, we build a strong partnership with Sakura City. When we met City Mayor Takashi Hanatsuka and his team earlier this year, it was apparent that they were here to form an everlasting bond. By formalizing this sister city bond, we take the next step to fostering the exchange of ideas and goodwill among our people. Kore, kara, shimai, toshe, toshete, yoroshiku, onegaishimasu means, I hope we have a great relationship as sister cities.
At this time, Sakura City will provide a Japanese translation of our City Mayor John Cruikshank's speech.
「先ほどランチョパロス市長からご挨拶がありました。その内容を読まさせていただきます。皆様お手元の7ページをご覧ください。アメリカ合衆国のランチョパルス・ベルデス市、そして日本の桜市という素晴らしい町から本日に出席されている皆さん、こんにちは。本日ご一緒しているのは、私の市議会議員、仲間であるエリック・アレグリア氏、デイブ・ブラッドリー氏、バーバラ・フェランロ氏、そして私たちの町の創設者の一人であるケン・ダイダ氏です。また、シティマネージャーであるアラ・ミラーニアン氏、副シティマネージャーであるカリナ・バーナル氏、そして市の法務官であるビル・ウィンダー氏も同席しています。私たちの町は70人の熱心な職員が在籍しており、1973年以降、町に関わるすべての業務を管理し、町を安全で清潔、そして楽しいものにしてくれています。私は市議会、職員、そしてランチョパルス・ベルデス市民を代表して、日本の桜市からお越しになった花塚市長を代表とする友人を心から歓迎します。ランチョパルス・ベルデス市は1973年に創設され、4万3000人の人口と35平方メートルの広さがあります。桜市は2005年に創設され、約4万4000人の人々と約126平方メートルの広さがございます。平方メートルの広さがございます。桜市はこちらより16時間時間が進んでおり、彼らにとって現在は水曜日の午前中ですが、本日が桜市と国際友好都市としての締結日となります。これが私たちにとって友好都市として初の交流です。ランチョパルス・ベルデス市にはエンジニア、発明家、芸術家、医師、学生、法律家、科学者、子どもの親たち、公務員、事業者、その他生活に欠かせないすべての職種の人がいます。私たち市民は知恵を求め分かち合っています。私たちは似ているところや異なるところを喜んで受け入れます。私たちは失敗を恐れていません。それによって成長するからです。そして本日、これまで以上に私たちは友情と分かち合える善良さを追い求めています。本日、私たちにとって初の友好都市である桜市を歓迎します。海によって私たちは隔てられていますが、私たちは桜市と強固な友好関係を築いていきたいと思います。今年の初旬、花塚隆市長と彼らの一行に出会ったとき、永遠の絆を築くために 彼らがここにいるのだということをはっきり感じました。この友好都市締結という絆を正式に結ぶことにより、両市民の間におけるアイデアや友好の交流をより加速させる次のステップに取り組みます。これから友好都市としてよろしくお願いします。
Thank you. Next, we shall have Mayor Hanatsuka.
続いて、花塚市長、ご挨拶をお願いいたします。8ページをご覧ください。
Hello in the city of Rancho, Paolo, Verdes. I'm Takashi Hanatsuka, the mayor of Sakura City. Nice to see you again. It's been about 6 months since I met all of you on a visit to Paolo Verdes. You formally welcomed and presented me with the proclamation of thanks and appreciation on January 21st, 2020. Thank you very much at that time. And today, I'm filled with thankfulness again. I am deeply grateful to the mayor of the city of Rancho Palos Verdes, John Cruikshank, Mayor Pro Tem Eric Alegria, Council Member David Bradley, we welcomed here, Council Member Ken Daida, Council Member Barbara Ferraro, City Manager Ara Miranian, Deputy City Manager Karina Baniales, Principal of Miraleste Intermediate School, Frank Califano. Congratulations on his daughter's wedding. And Social Studies teacher, as well as former ALT, Marin Kitana, and many people who have made this possible. Now, all the 18 members of the City Council of Sakura City and myself are very honored and pleased with being here and facing this ceremony to establish a sister city relationship with the amazing, beautiful city of Rancho Palos Verdes. The great city that has welcomed over 300 of our students as part of an ongoing exchange program for 20 years. Now, let me talk about our city. The name of our city, Sakura, means, as you know, the cherry blossom, which is the symbol flower of Japan. The season when the blossoms are in full bloom, it's one of the most beautiful times in Japan. It's a very short period, about 7 days or so. But if you change location, you can see other full blooming. In spring, during March and April, we have the cherry blossom forecast beside the weather forecast every day on TV or in newspapers. The sakura blooming line moves across Japanese islands, starting in the southwest, heading northeast from March until beginning of May. And I think our word, sakura, is a worldwide word. So I have to work hard to expand our international exchange. Today, we are here together in a virtual meeting online over the Pacific Ocean and celebrate establishing a formal sister cities program between the city of Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City. I think this is the beginning of the great era of deepening and strengthening our cultural and educational ties. I hope it shall be enriching for both of our citizens through many activities and be good for living along our lives. And most of all, we wish the future of our children, of our students, will grow much better over the ocean. Joy to the both sister cities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hanatsuka. Joining us this evening are 3 students that have participated in the Sakura City and Rancho Palos Verdes Student Exchange Program. We shall begin with our very own Miss Renata Lopez, 8th grade student from Muralist Intermediate School. Miss Lopez, you may proceed.
中学生代表挨拶。本日は海外派プログラムに参加していただいた3人の中学生にスピーチをいただきます。はじめにミラレステ中学校生徒代表レナタ・ロペスさんです。資料の9ページをご覧ください。
You may proceed, Miss Lopez.
Hi, my name is Renata Lopez, and I was a host for the Japanese Foreign Exchange Student Stay at Miralest. When I heard at school that I had the chance to have a student from Japan stay at my house and show her how I lived my life here, I was very excited to participate because I was very curious to see how someone from another country would think of a place like Palos Verdes. When I first met my student, Sanami, we were both a bit shy towards each other, likely considering that we both spoke different languages. But she immediately put in so much effort to try and talk to me as best she could, and I tried to help her as much as possible. The Miralest students prepared a performance for everyone after the dinner, and we put together several acts that pretty much showed what teenagers do here in America. For example, we had some singing, we showed them how to make chocolate chip cookies, a classic, and of course, there was a TikTok dancing act, typical. After we were all done, the students from Japan all got together and showed us some of their culture by doing performances for us as well. Let's just say they were not doing TikTok dances for us. Instead, they did many different acts that everyone in the room enjoyed immensely. Right then and there, could you realize how different both cultures were? And even though they were very different, both groups had lots of fun performing. After the dinner, my family and I took Tsunami home, and we were getting along very well, and we actually had a lot of stuff in common, so we instantly started making plans of what to do for the next 2 days that we would be together. We both really enjoyed dancing, so me and Tsunami took lots of time making dances and dressing up together. My family and I took Tsunami to In-N-Out because what's California without In-N-Out? And it was so exciting to see Tsunami's reaction to all of the various kinds of foods that we Californians love. As much as I showed Tsunami my culture, she also showed me hers. She brought along with her some of her city's famous gifts, and my family and I loved learning about her city. On the final day of her stay, all the students were allowed to go to school with us. She thought all of my classes were lots of fun, but she said that her favorite class was chef class, which is an amazing answer because let's be honest, who doesn't love making muffins and cupcakes during class? By the end of the day, Tsunami had met a great amount of my friends, and it was time to say goodbye. I was incredibly sad to say goodbye to Tsunami, but even now we still stay in touch and message each other. This experience was one of the greatest things I have done at Miralest, and I really enjoyed learning all about the Japanese culture, and I was glad to have been able to share my culture to somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Next, Katsumi Kamiyama, a student from Kisurigawa Junior High School.
続きまして、藤江中学校生徒代表神山かすみさんのスピーチです。資料10ページをご覧ください。
Going to Rancho Palos Verdes was the most fun experience I've had to date. Getting off the plane started my completely new experience. The food and servings were huge. It was about 3 times the size of what I'm used to, but it was very delicious. The food was incredible and filled with flavors I've never experienced in Japan. The steak we had at the hotel was about 1.5 inches thick and bigger than my face. It was a fun battle to try and finish it. I was successful in defeating the steak, but I had to leave the sides behind. My host family owned a Hawaiian restaurant, and the food I had there was top tier. I was very glad to experience such a variety of American cuisine. Another thing I experienced that was extremely different from Japan was the shopping culture. The Telsis at South Bay was the biggest mall I've been to yet. I thought I would get lost in there. I've also wanted to visit Trader Joe's for a long time. When I was finally able to go, it did not disappoint. It was a lot bigger than I had expected, and there were so many kinds of snacks and candies that just closing the eyes was so much fun. When I first met my host family, I felt like we were a little nervous around each other. This was my first time to experience American home life, and I was a little uncertain about various things. However, I resolved to be brave, lean into this new experience, and step outside of myself. I went to my family and offered to teach them origami. That was the key for me. In doing the traditional Japanese activity together, the gaps and nervousness I felt melted away, and communication became very easy and natural. When I told them I do kendo, they became very interested. They cleared some space in their living room, and with some spare bamboo sword I brought, we practiced some forms together. There were pictures taken, and fun and smiles was shared by all. I also went bowling with my host family and their family friend. At first, I was a little dif- I was a little difficult for me to join the conversations, but when they realized that, they made every effort to include me in their mix. I also became friends with the family friend and look forward to seeing them again. When I went to Middlester Intermediate School, students from every class I joined reached out to talk with me and help me feel accepted. The teachers also made effort to include us in the class activities. I am very thankful for that. The study abroad program to Rancho Verdes was an extremely amazing experience, and I am blessed to have been a part of it. I hope that with this sister city agreement, even more students and citizens will be able to have their own international experience and widen their worldview as I was able to. Thank you for having me, Rancho Verdes, and I look forward to when we shall meet in person again. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Toi Yoshizawa, a student from Kisuregawa Junior High School.
続きまして、失礼が中学校生徒代表、吉澤東衣さんのスピーチです。11ページをご覧ください。
Congratulations to Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura on becoming Friendship City. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to make a speech. In January, I took part in the homestay program at Miraleste Junior High School in RPB. When I was there, I saw squirrel. I thought this city has a lot of nature like my hometown Sakura. It made me happy. People in RPB are very kind and warmly accepted us. I learned many things there, especially about robots and machines from my body. I and my fellow students performed onsen ondo, a traditional dance from our hometown. To the students of Mirarest, I was glad to see that everyone really enjoyed it. I want them to come to Sakura and see the real onsen ondo. I believe the people in Sakura will learn about the charm of Rancho Palos Verdes through our Friendship City relationship. Our friendship will surely deepen. In closing, I wish for the prosperity and happiness of both cities. Thank you.
Thank you. Since 2001, more than 300 students from 2 middle schools in Sakura City have traveled to Rancho Palos Verdes to attend Miralist Intermediate School, enabling students from both cities to attain a robust cultural understanding and appreciation of both countries. Joining us is Ms. Malen Katana, creator of the exchange program at Miralist Intermediate School, principal of Kitsuregawa Junior High School, Mr. Kiyoshi Yokosuka, and Sakura City Superintendent, Mr. Keiji Hashimoto.
学校長、教育長挨拶。2001年より300人以上の桜市の中学生がランチョパロスベルデス市にあるミラレステ中学校に派遣されております。両市の中学生はこの交流プログラムを通し、言葉や文化の違いを超え、強い絆で結ばれております。友好として締結ができたのも交流プログラムのおかげと言えます。本日はこの中学生交流プログラムを作ってくださいましたマリーン・ケッターナ先生、そして令和元年度中学生海外派遣団長キツレ川中学校長横須賀光一様、そして桜市教育長橋本啓二よりご挨拶を申し上げます。まずケッターナ先生からのご挨拶です。資料の12ページをご覧ください。
Ms. Katana, you may proceed.
Thank you. Mayor Cruikshank, RPV City Council, Mayor Hanatsuka, and Sakura City Council. Good evening, konbanwa. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I know that the principal of Miralest, Mr. Califano, wanted to be here, but he is currently celebrating his daughter's wedding. I am very excited about this new connection between Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City. Many years ago, as a recent college graduate, I ventured to Japan to teach English. I was assigned to a small rural town known then as Ujie, and now that is part of Sakura City. I taught at the middle school for a year. What an amazing experience. I learned so much, not only about Japan, but about myself. I learned how culture informs our understanding and how much of my own ways of seeing the world were actually a result of my own background. I learned how to listen and ask questions to better understand those around me. I met wonderful people who adopted me into their school, community, and families. Their welcome became a model for how I wanted to welcome others into my own world. Almost 20 years ago, Mr. Kobori from Sakura City proposed a program to connect students of Sakura City and those of Miralest. When that happened, I saw an opportunity for our students to get a small taste of what I had experienced. Our principal at the time, John Letcher, and those who have followed have enthusiastically welcomed students from both middle schools in Sakura City. In the many exchanges, I believe Miralest and Sakura City students have made lifelong memories. I've admired Sakura City students for their courage and spirit as they venture into new experiences and stay with a new family who doesn't even speak their native language. I've appreciated the warmth, excitement, and nurturing spirit of our Miralest students and families who have taken Sakura City students into their hearts. I love to see all of the students learn about each other's differences, but even more, realize their similarities. Some of those relationships live on years later. Even those who are no longer in contact have a positive experience of reaching out to those who are different and finding friendship. I am delighted that Sakura City and Rancho Palos Verdes have chosen to become sister cities. I look forward to continued relationships between the people of our two cities. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Yokosuka.
続きまして、喜連川中学校長、横須賀光一様、お願いいたします。
これまでミラレステ中学校と氏家喜連川両中学校は17回にわたり交流を続けてきました。互いに友情を深め、両国の文化や伝統を伝え合い、心を通わせてきました。そして 2018年には姉妹校連携を締結し、より親密な関係を築いて今日に至っています。
To date, Miralist Intermediate School of Rancho Palos Verdes and Ujie and Kitsuregawa Junior High Schools of Sakura have successfully completed 17 study abroad programs with each other. During these exchanges, we have deepened friendships, exchanged culture and traditions of our respective countries while growing ever closer. And then, in 2018, we began to formalize the relationship our cities have, culminating in the Sister City Agreement, for which we have remotely gathered here today.
本日、ランチョパロスベルデス市と桜市の間で友好都市調印が行われることになりました。未来を担う若者たちが互いの良さを認め、友情を確かめ続けた結果、友好都市調印という大きな花を咲かせるきっかけを作ってくれたと考えております。これまでの国際交流が礎になったと感じ、大変嬉しく思っています。
We are here this evening to formally sign the Sister City Agreement between the city of Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City. Thanks to the foundation laid down by the youth of our two cities, a true connection between us has blossomed. With this as a starting point, it is our hope that the leaders of tomorrow will build lasting bridges of respect and understanding between our two cities. I am so happy to be a part of this process.
このことは長きにわたり中学生の国際交流を継続していただいている桜市議会をはじめ関係の皆様方のおかげと考えております。両校を代表して感謝を申し上げます。
As a representative of both Ujie and Kitsuregawa Junior High Schools, I want to extend my thanks to the Sakura City Council and all involved in creating and maintaining the exchange between our two cities.
さらに、桜市の中学生を快く受け入れていただいているミラレステ中学校、ミスター・フランク・カリファーノ校長先生、ミズ・マリーン・シターナ先生には、これまでの感謝と今後も引き続き交流を続けてほしいと願っております。ぜひ、今度はミラレステ中学校の生徒を桜市に連れてきてください。お待ちしております。
Furthermore, to the principal of Miralest Intermediate School, Mr. Frank Califano, and others such as Ms. Kitana, who have so warmly received students from Sakura City, we give our highest thanks and appreciation. We look forward to similarly showering Miralest Intermediate School students with Japanese hospitality as soon as safely possible.
最後になりますが、ミスター・フランクと互いの生徒や学校の友情の証として植えた桜が花を咲かせたという知らせを聞きました。この桜はミラレステ中学校と桜市の両中学校の交流の証として、これからも未来に向かってずっときれいな花を咲かせ続けてくれることでしょ
う。Before I go, I have heard that the Sakura tree, which was planted as a symbol of the connection between our two cities, has bloomed. I sincerely hope that the trees at Miralest Intermediate School and our junior high schools in Sakura continue to produce beautiful and vibrant flowers for years to come.
そして桜の花とともに互いの死と私たちの生徒が確かな絆を培っていくことを記念し挨拶といたします。桜市立喜連川中学校校長横須賀光一。
Just as the Sakura trees blossom and grow year to year, I hope our students and cities continue to cultivate lasting bonds for generations to come. Sakura City Kitsuregawa Junior High School Principal Koichi Yokosuka.
Thank you. Next, we shall have Mr. Hashimoto.
続きまして、桜市教育長、橋本啓二がご挨拶を申し上げます。
Hello, my name is Keiji Hashimoto, Sakura Board of Education Superintendent. Staff greeting, thank you. 桜市ランチョパロスベルデ市の友好都市締結はこのコロナ禍の中、両市にとってとても大きく明るいニュースです。私も本当に嬉しく思います。そして、そのきっかけを約20年続く両市の未来を担う3つの中学校の教育文化交流であったことも深い縁があったと今更ながらに思う次第です。
Although we are in the midst of COVID-19, I am thankful for the uplifting news, which is the Sister City Agreement between the city of Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City. While our three schools have been intertwined for 20 years, deepening educational and cultural understandings of each other, we now enter a new chapter with this program.
また、その交流の橋渡しとなったミラレステ中学校教諭マリン先生にもこの場をお借りして御礼申し上げます。彼女は20数年前に桜市で英語教諭として中学校に勤務され、子どもたちの英語力向上に尽力をされました。私はそれ以来の友人でもあります。また今年はスティーブン先生にも本市にお越しいただきました。誠にありがとうございました。
As we enter a new phase, we should do well to remember she who made this all possible, Ms. Malin, a teacher from Miralles Intermediate School who taught English here in Sakura City over 20 years ago, whose assistance has helped improve our children's English proficiency. She's also been a good personal friend of mine since her time here. I would also like to recognize Mr. Stephen, who visited Sakura City earlier this year.
今日を契機として、両市の交流は教育文化交流だけでなく、一般市民、そして観光、経済など幅広い分野での交流に発展し、さらに深い絆で結ばれることを期待してやみません。私もコロナウイルス感染が落ち着きましたら、ぜひともランチョパロスベルデス市を訪問させていただきたいと思っております。
The connection we embark on today is not solely for the benefit of students, but all of our citizens. We hope to form lasting bonds between our cities in various categories, including tourism and business. Once the threat of COVID-19 has died down, I would love to experience the wonders of Rancho Palos Verdes that our mayor has told me about.
市長からも恩師の風光明媚さ、食べ物、飲み物の美味しさ、そして何よりも皆さんの気持ちの優しさ、おおらかさをお聞きしております。今から楽しみです。またぜひ桜市にもお出かけください。大歓迎です。では改めてこの友好都市締結に関しましてご尽力いただきました関係者の皆様に厚く御礼を申し上げ、私の挨拶とさせていただきます。ありがとうございました。Thank you.
The connection we embark on today, the picturesque views, succulent cuisine, uplifting spirits, and above all, the extreme kind-hearted residents are all things I cannot wait to see for myself. We here in Sakura City also eagerly await our chance to host you. We look forward to the joys of our new Sister City Agreement shall bring forth. To all of the members who made this possible, I humbly express my appreciation and gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, we ask that both mayors recite the proclamation. We will begin with our very own Mayor Cruikshank. Mayor, you may proceed to read our proclamation.
締結書朗読。はじめに、ランチョパロス市長ジョン・クルクシャンク様より友好都市締結書を朗読いただきます。13ページの方をご覧ください。
The cities of Sakura City, Tochigi Prefecture, Japan, and Rancho Palos Verdes, California State, United States of America, have nurtured a close bound since 2001 as a school program. We hereby recognize our relationship as sister cities. The purpose of this agreement is to deepen and strengthen our friendship. The cities of Sakura City and Rancho Palos Verdes City and their respective citizens, through active exchanges in a variety of areas such as culture, education, arts, and sports, will strive to further friendships and deepen their mutual understandings for the ultimate goal of world peace. This present agreement is created in duplicate in Japanese and English languages, both text being equally authoritative and effective upon the date of signing.
Next, Mayor Hanatsuka.
桜市長、花塚隆が朗読いたします。14ページをご覧ください。
友好都市締結書。アメリカ合衆国、カリフォルニア州ランチョ・パロス・ベルデス市と日本国、栃木県さくら市は2001年から中学生の交流授業を行い、友好関係を築いてきた。この長年の友好関係をより深め、より強固にするため、友好都市の関係を結ぶことに合意する。両市及びその市民は、最終的な目的である世界平和のため、文化、教育、芸術、スポーツなど、幅広い分野における交流を通じて、さらなる発展と互いの理解と連携を深めることに努めるものとする。本締結書は日本語及び英語を等しく正文とし、署名の日から効力を生ずる。以上です。
Thank you. We kindly asked that Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City City Council begin signing the proclamation, with both mayors being the last to sign.
それでは調印に入ります。ランチョパルスベルデス市では市長、市議の4名の方、桜市では市長、桜市議会議長よりサインをいただきます。英文と日本語文それぞれにサインとなります。まず石岡議長からサインをお願いいたします。ゆっくり大丈夫です。失敗できないです。
Thank you. At this time, if we can ask both Mayor Cruikshank and Mayor Hanatsuka to please hold the proclamation up for a quick photo opportunity.
両市長様、写真をお撮りしますので、締結書をしばらくカメラに向かってお持ちいただいてください。はい、お願いします。
Please hold for a moment, and on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much. We shall proceed with the exchange of city gifts. The city gift from Rancho Palos Verdes is the city logo, which is depicted in the city's tile, which was designed by former Mayor Tom Hollingsworth in 1978 and has been used by the city ever since. The logo is a blue and green, symbolizing the natural resources of the area and stylized coastline panorama. While the logo is unique to our city, so too is a font, Rancho Contempo, that spells out the city's name.
ランチョパロスベルデス市からは、ランチョパロスベルデス市の市章が入った盾をいただきます。後日、桜市に送られる予定です。この市章は1978年に当時の市長がデザインしたものになります。すいません、ページで言うと15ページ、16ページですね。こちらの方をご覧ください。緑は自然、形は海岸線を表しています。
The gift from Sakura City is a vase made by the Tokichi-based potter, Kyoko Shimada. Because she creates every work with a special kind of refined elegance, she is known as a Sakura cherry blossom potter. Even in our local Sakura Museum, some of her work is on display in the Sakura exhibit. So her connection to her city is strong. It is their hope that this small piece of Sakura in Rancho Palos Verdes will help bring both cities much closer.
桜市からの贈答品は、桜市 PR 大使になっている陶芸家、島田京子さんの作品です。今年1月に花塚市長がランチョパロスベルデス市を訪問した際に送らせていただきました。
Thank you. At this time, we ask that both city administrators from Rancho Palos Verdes, our city manager, Ara Miranian, and the Sakura City Council Chairman, Yuji Ishoka, to please speak.
閉会の挨拶、ランチョパロスベルデス市シティマネージャー、アラ・ミラーニアン様、続いて、桜市議会議長、石岡裕二様よりご挨拶いただきます。
Thank you. Ara, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good evening and good morning, and thank you to everyone for making tonight's ceremonial event possible. I would like to thank our city councils for believing in and supporting this relationship between our two cities, and give special thank you to our Deputy City Manager, Karina Banyayes, and General Policy Manager of Sakura City, Ayaka Higeta, for making tonight happen.
皆さん、こんにちは。まず、この調印式を取り越えましたことを、ランチョパロスベルデ市と桜市の職員の皆様にお礼を申し上げます。特に副シティマネージャーカリナ・バニャレスと桜市総合対策課ヒゲタ・彩香さんのおかげで本日成功することができました。ありがとうございました。
Oftentimes, the residents of Rancho Palos Verdes describe our city as paradise. From our 7 miles of pristine coastline, breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean, Catalina Island, and the Los Angeles Basin and Harbor, 1,400 acres of open space, and 33 miles of trails. It epitomizes the definition of paradise for all.
ランチョ・パロス・ベルデスの市民は、この市は天国だとよく言います。12km の海岸線や太平洋の素晴らしい景色、カタリナ島やロサンゼルスの盆地と港、1400エーカーの広大の土地と合わせて約 53km の散策路がいくつくもあるので、たくさんの人に天国だと思われるのでしょう。
Sakura City, nearly 5,500 miles across the Pacific Ocean, encapsulates the essence of paradise as well. From its outdoor recreational amenities, including hiking trails, villages with mountain views, to the boundless fields of cherry blossoms, it is only natural that our two cities should form a sister city relationship.
太平洋の離れて約 8500km 遠く離れている桜市もハイキングコースを含めアウトドア施設や山間風景がある町村限りなく広がる桜並木も天国を連想させることでしょう。これらの美しい自然からも私たちはこの2つの素晴らしい市が友好都市になるは当然のことと思います。
Tonight, we're proud to build on the bond fostered between our youths nearly 2 decades ago, which has blossomed into many deep and lasting friendships. The certificate signed this evening is more than signatures on a piece of paper. It represents a bond, a friendship, a relationship that unifies our two cities on a cultural and educational level.
20年前に漁師の若者が作った絆が本日より深く末長い友情の花を咲かせたのだと思います。ただいま調印した締結書はただサインされた紙ではありません。この締結書は両氏の絆や友情、交流が文化的、情緒的に一つになって現れだと思います。
As city manager, I'm honored to be a part of tonight's historic moment for Rancho Palos Verdes, not only because it is a first for our city, but because it is with Sakura City. Unknown to me, I recently discovered that I actually have a personal connection to Sakura City. In April, I learned that my parents' 1962 wedding dinnerware set I grew up using on a regular basis is from Sakura City. And I'd like to show that with you, which is the Sakura, the cherry blossoms, and behind it mentions Sakura, Japan, and this is from 1962.
シティマネージャーとしてこのランチョパロスベルデスの歴史的行事に参加できまして大変嬉しく思います。私たちの市の初めて友好都市ということだけではなく、桜市とつながることができたからです。最近、自分自身が桜市と個人的なつながりがあったことを発見しました。4月に私が子供の頃からよく使っていた1962年に行った両親の結婚式のお皿が桜市のものだったということが分かりました。
On that note, I'm grateful and look forward to developing the relationship between our two cities. Kongo tomo yoroshiku oniga itashimasu.
このようなつながりもあり、私は両氏の関係がより深くなることを期待いたします。
Thank you. Next, City Council Chairman, Mr. Ishioka.
石岡議長、お願いいたします。
審議会議長の石岡裕二です。
I am Sakura City Council Chief Yuji Ishioka.
本日は桜市とランチョパラスベルデス市が友好都市となった記念すべき日に、桜審議会として立ち会えたことを本当に嬉しく思います。
I am pleased and honored to represent the Sakura City Council in this ceremony commemorating the Sister City Agreement between the city of Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City.
この友好都市締結は、教育分野で長年続いた中学生の海外派遣事業が大きなきっかけとなったことは、とても素晴らしく、意義あることであり、桜市からの中学生を2001年から温かく受け入れ続けてくれたミラレステ中学校と市民の皆様に心からお礼申し上げます。
The wonderful connection between our two cities began with the junior high school student exchange program. Since 2001, the city and people of Rancho Palos Verdes have warmly received the junior high students of Sakura City. For this, we have nothing but gratitude.
これからは中学生同士の交流がより発展することはもちろん、幅広い年代の市民同士の交流があらゆる分野で広がり、互いの市民が互いの文化を知り、育て、より豊かな未来を築くことでしょ
う。Now, as our relationship evolves from purely scholastic to a true connection between cities, I want to express our heartfelt appreciation to the men and women of Rancho Palos Verdes City Council, whose committees and decisions have made this possible. Thank you.
先日、ブラッドリー議員が桜市にお越しくださいましたが、桜市議会としてもランチョ・パロス・ベルデス市議会と末永く交流を行っていきたいと考えております。
Previously, Council Member Bradley honored us in Sakura City with a visit. While he was here, he helped set up the groundwork for a lasting relationship between the city of Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City.
コロナウイルス感染症が落ち着いた後、直接お会いできることを心から楽しみにしております。本日は誠にありがとうございました。
After the threat of COVID-19 has died down, I am looking forward to returning the favor and having my own experience with the great people of Rancho Palos Verdes. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everyone who has made this day possible.
Let's meet again sometimes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable mayors and city councils of both Sakura City and Japan and Rancho Palos Verdes, this concludes the Sister City virtual ceremony. We thank everyone for participating in this inaugural event for both cities, as we both know that we are committed to strengthening our cultural bonds and foster many enduring and deep friendships. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。皆様、この調印式をもちまして、桜市とランチョパロスベルデス市は友好都市となりました。養子の皆様に心から感謝を申し上げます。締結書にも書かれている通り、今後も私たちの友好関係をより深め、より強固にしていきたいと思います。本日は本当にありがとうございました。
Karina, we have one request on this side. Our technical team was not able to get a good picture with both mayors and the signing, with them holding up the signed documents. they're requesting if you could have them do it one more time?
Absolutely. Mayor Cruikshank, if I can ask you to please step forward to the signing table and bring the proclamation with you, and we will retake the photo up. And Nathan, if you can please ask, if I can ask for you to have both screens of the mayors, that'd be great. As well as you, Lucas. Thank you.
Mhm.
皆様すいません、少々お待ちください。
Let's see.
Their lights.
Okay. Emmanuel or Yaka, if you guys would like to, okay, I think we are good. I think we're ready.
Lucas.
If I can ask now both mayors to hold the proclamation. Fantastic. And we'll hold it for a couple of seconds. Ready? Smile big. 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Emmanuel, does that work okay?
Okay. Because of the delay, if we can have it be held for just a little bit longer.
Sure, no problem. Okay, if we can just ask you to hold it for a couple of seconds, Mayor Cruikshank.
All right. Thank you very much.
はい、じゃあ皆様すべてが終了しました。拍手をお願いいたします。はい、ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your day.
ありがとう。
ありがとう。
今日も調印式を終了させてなお今回の模様は後日桜市の YouTube で公開させていただきますので、ご自宅でもごゆっくりご覧いただければと思います。本日はお忙しいところお越しいただきまして誠にありがとうございました。お気をつけてお帰りください。以上です。
Let's take a 10-minute break.
We do have Mr. Stephen Indy who did wait. If we could, thank you.
Mr. Indy, please.
Good evening, Mayor Cruikshank.
Good evening.
And City Council members. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. My name is Stephen Ide, and I'm a teacher at Marilest Intermediate School. I'm beyond pleased and offer my sincerest congratulations on this newly formed sister city relationship between Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City, Japan. I have taught at Marilest for the past 10 years, and I've been very fortunate to help Mrs. Malin Shitana for many of the Sakura City student exchange programs this past decade. My wife and I have had the opportunity to travel to Sakura City this past December to visit both the junior high schools in which we accept students and had the opportunity to meet with the mayor and the city staff to help coordinate their January trip to Rancho Palos Verdes. While participating in the planning, it was very obvious how much Sakura City wanted to form this relationship with Rancho Palos Verdes, and I'm so glad that the hard work of both cities has come to fruition. The sister city concept has had a monumental impact on my life. My family has been actively serving in the Torrance Sister City Association since 1982, and I have worked closely with the City of Torrance, my hometown, to foster friendship and goodwill with the residents of Kashiwa, Japan. Kashiwa is our sister city, which is located outside of Tokyo, about 2 hours south of Sakura City. Through our service, we have made lifelong connections and lasting friendships. In fact, my wife is from Torrance's sister city, and we met as a result from our volunteer work with our respective sister city associations. 7 years ago, I had the opportunity to lead a group of 8 Torrance High School students on a 3-week exchange program to Kashiwa. For all of the students, and myself included, it was a trip of a lifetime and has made monumental impacts on my students' life. With this new relationship with which you enter tonight, there are now so many opportunities for cross-cultural relationships that each city could enjoy, whether they be student exchanges, adult delegations, exchange teacher programs, and so much more. More information regarding opportunities like this can be found on Torrance Sister Cities Association website, torrancesistercity.org. And should either city, Rancho Palos Verdes or Sakura City, have any questions about developing similar programs, please feel free to reach out. Both Torrance and our sister city have enjoyed 47 years of working together, learning, and having a lot of fun. And I look so forward to seeing what the future holds for Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for those words, and we're now brand new at this, our first sister city, so getting your help and the City of Torrance help will be really, really great for us. Thank you so much.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Indy?
Thank you.
Before you sign off, staff just wanted to let you know that they will be including your comments in the video that will be created for tonight's event.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Have a good evening.
You too.
Wait, before you go.
Councilwoman Ferraro wants to say a few words.
Yes.
Yes.
It's wonderful that you all were able to get this program started, and I know Mrs. Chatana had a lot to do with it. And my family has participated in so many exchanges over the years, so, a couple of them even year-long student exchanges. And I think it's one of the best ways to get to know people from other countries and cultures is to have them into your own home. And I also want to know how your parents are now that they're retired.
They're doing very well. Thank you for asking. And I completely agree with you. Having a relationship like this between Rancho Palos Verdes and Sakura City will be so beneficial, not just for the students that we've accepted at Marilés for so many years, but for the citizens, whether they be
Yes.
high school or much older. And
Yes.
I'm very happy that this was done tonight. So congratulations to you all. And I
It's a
look
great
forward to it.
opportunity for our students to participate as well. Thank you so much for all your efforts.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Any other further comments before we take a 10-minute break? All right, so ordered.
You can enjoy your cookies now.